What is going on? This is MOTOSARGE signing in, and in today's video I just wanted to share with you guys some things that I wish I considered before purchasing my Harley Davidson. So let's roll that intro and get on with today's video. Alright, welcome back. Thank you for tuning in to another video. If you're new to the channel, I bring you along with me as I merge my passions for photography and motorcycles. So if you like anything photography or motorcycle related, please click that like icon, hit that subscribe button, and while you're at it, don't forget to ring that bell notification to get email alerts when I upload some new content. Like I mentioned in the intro, today, again, I'm just bringing you along with me for my daily commute home from work. I feel like majority of the time I'm on the bike lately, it's just, as a commuter, but that's okay. I am still on two wheels. It's mid-December and the weather here in Columbus, Georgia is not too cold to enjoy riding, so I'm all right. But anyways, like I mentioned in today's intro, I just wanted to share with you guys some things that maybe, I wish I would have considered before purchasing the Dyna. I mean, I'm not, bummed out with my decision. I love my bike. I love where I have taken my bike. But there are some things that I do wish, I maybe thought about before running down to the local Harley dealer and purchasing my first Harley Davidson. I have ridden several different types of bikes. I've owned anywhere from, your two-stroke dirt bikes to four-stroke dirt bikes, and then went into like the sport bike world or realm for a long time until probably, I would say 3-4 years ago when I made the decision to, that's it, it's time to buy my first Harley. Now, when I went into buying a motorcycle before, especially a dirt bike, a lot of the riding style is the same. I mean, you're going to get on there, you're going to twist the throttle, you're going to try to smash the track, or you're going to get yourself a trail bike and, enjoy trail riding. But when it comes to riding a Harley Davidson, the first thing I wish I considered was the type of riding I was going to be doing. Was it going to be, daily commuting in and around town? Or was I going to want to be throwing some long miles on the bike? It's something, when I went down to the Harley dealer, I was looking at a bike without a fairing, without bags, because the type of riding I do majority of the time is just this, it's commuting to and from work. Very rare occasions am I getting on the bike for like an overnight trip. However, I do wish, I had the ability to just, throw one of the older kids on the bike and say, hey, we're going out for the weekend, we'll be back Sunday night. And I still do have the ability to do that on this one, but I mean, the overall comfort for long distances is not meant for it. So I would say that would be like the first point, is really look at, the type of riding you would be doing while you're riding your Harley Davidson. I mean, whether it is in and around town or throwing miles across several different states, that would probably be the first thing to look at. Now, what goes along with that, of course, is going to be the budget, right? I mean, if you're looking around, a $10,000 or less budget, for the sake of the video, we'll just consider, your budget of $10,000 and you want a new bike. That's going to funnel you towards specific models, right? I mean, less than $10,000 brand new, you're going to be looking, at some different Harley Davidson models, such as your Sportsters, your 500, and I believe that would be it. So really, your budget is going to help you decide what type of Harley to buy as well. I mean, if your budget is over $20,000, then of course you could look at, a bagger and throwing some miles down. Even, the newer Softails are getting close to that. The Lowrider S, the Sport Glide, the Heritage, those bikes are upwards of the high teens. So budget plays a huge part into the overall decision-making process for you to purchase your first Harley Davidson. I don't know if I want to stretch it and make it into Harris County, or maybe I'm just going to stop here and get some gas. This is, the tank on the Dyna isn't small, but it definitely isn't the biggest out there. And that's another thing, when you're throwing down miles, stopping the least amount of time as possible is going to, make for your ride to be that much better. But I'm going to stop for gas here real quick, guys, and I will catch up with you as soon as I give the show some of my dollars. just put some gas in the Dyna so I can make it home tonight. If you guys are out here in the Columbus, Georgia area, looks like we are about to get slammed with some extreme weather this evening, or tonight I should say. It looks like around 3 a.m. supposed to be some pretty severe thunderstorms, possible tornadoes. So if you guys are out here, you know, hopefully you're staying safe. If you're riding two wheels, hopefully you're not out caught in that crap, because that could just lead for a dangerous afternoon or evening. But getting back to some things to consider before you purchase your Harley Davidson, right? I already talked about the style of riding you plan on doing, and then also budget. So another thing for me is the vision I have in mind for the Harley, right? When I first bought my Fat Bob, as soon as I saw it on the showroom floor, I knew exactly what it was I wanted to do with it, because I had a vision of what I wanted my first Harley Davidson to look like. You know, I automatically knew what route I wanted to take this bike. With the Harley Davidson, you're going to be able to customize the bike to fit what it is you want it to look like. You know, that's the coolest thing about owning a Harley, is I feel like we're all artists, and our canvas is our two-wheel freedom machines, right? I mean, so whatever you do to it, just do what you want, but know what you want going into it, because the platform, whether it's a Softail, a Dyna, a Bagger, you know, is gonna dictate or help you decide which to go with. Now, of course, you can't get Dynas brand new anymore because they are gone. But just know, you know, going into it, what it is that you want your bike to look like. You know, if you want the club style, then, you know, the new Fat Bob, the Lowrider, the Sport Glide is looking pretty sick of these guys doing the club style route look to those bikes. I mean, just kind of, you know, you could see how that's going to help you decide on what bike to get. And aftermarket parts is another thing to consider. I mean, just the initial investment in a Harley Davidson, right? When you buy one off the showroom floor, or you buy a used bike, regardless of what the bike is sitting at, whether it has exhaust or no exhaust, has handlebars, no handlebars, I mean, no matter what, in time, even if you say you're not going to put anything on your bike, I think us Harley riders, if we say that, we're lying, right? Because that's why everyone's gravitated towards a Harley Davidson, is the ability to make it unique, make it your own. So that's one thing to consider when you're purchasing it, knowing, hey, if I'm buying this bike at $10,000-$15,000 ish, what are my aftermarket parts going to run me? I mean, what are they going to cost? Feels like my legs are getting wet, but they're not. Kind of take that into consideration and plan for it long term, because I will say, as soon as I brought this bike home, yes, it was a great day. We were all excited, you know, although, you know, the wife isn't as stoked over a Harley Davidson as I am. She was excited for me because she knew, you know, I wanted one so bad, and we finally brought one home. But then after like a few weeks, I started talking about all these things I wanted to do to it, and I could see the look in her face, like she was she was killing me with her eyes, you know. It's like, hey, we just spent this amount of money, and it's only been 2 weeks, and you're already talking about doing this, this, and this. So just kind of know that going in. Yes, you are going to spend the money on the bike, and yes, you are going to spend the money on the aftermarket parts too. And the last thing I really wanted to cover, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of other reasons or things to consider when purchasing a Harley, but these are kind of the things that I have thought about, that I wish, you know, going back, if I were to change anything, what I would have thought about before spending the money. I mean, I bought this back in 2016, so I mean, I probably would have still ended up with the same bike off the showroom floor. But it's just, you know, I am very knee-jerk reaction, and when I want something, I want it, and if I have the ability to go get it, I'm gonna try to go get it. And so, you know, maybe taking that time to ease into it will help you a little bit more. But the last thing I did want to talk about is the maintenance, right? Everybody talks about how the maintenance on a Harley Davidson is expensive, and I would be lying if I told you it is not, because it does. I mean, the first 1,000-mile service I took it to the dealership, I was just shocked at how much it cost, you know, to do that. And it was just eye-opening. And another thing I had to kind of, you know, get over the hump with the wife is, hey, yes, We do have a Harley. It did cost me a lot, but it's going to cost me a lot to maintain it. That's just the nature of the beast. And then, you know, if you look at it with the perspective of this bike is going to take care of you. You're going to ride it, you're on two wheels, you're in the elements, you know, the last thing you want is something to mechanically make it so your day sucks. Or you end up sliding down the pavement instead of riding down the pavement. So the maintenance is going to cost you a little bit, but if you take care of these bikes, I've seen, you know, V-twin 103s with people posting that they got over 50,000 miles on a bike and more. I mean, so the motors are they're locked tight, they're gonna run for a long time as long as you maintenance your Harley and you take care of your Harley. So those are my, you know, main things to consider before you purchase your Harley Davidson. I don't know if I'm gonna actually roll this video out. I do intend to get, you know, back on the bike later this week, hopefully, if the weather, you know, allows me to. But with the channel, I started wanting to maybe roll out a video once a week on Fridays, and lately, especially through the holidays, you know, getting on the bike is getting harder and harder, and I don't plan my videos at all. Most of the time I throw a leg over it, I press record on the GoPro, and the first topic that comes to my mind, I just shoot from the hip. So sometimes it works, sometimes, you know, it doesn't. But you know, I do think this is something that may help some of you out there, especially if you don't have a bike, you know, things to think about. And I enjoy doing it, I enjoy riding, and I enjoy sharing with each and every one of you guys. So hopefully you liked today's video. If you did, click that like icon, hit that subscribe button, or at it, don't forget to ring that bell notification to get email alerts when I upload some new content. Like always, guys, I really appreciate your support. Thank you for tuning in to another video, and this is MOTOSARGE signing out.
Go hard work, that's what